Hi everybody, welcome back to Game Design. Today you will be writing computer code, and for many of you, or maybe all of you, it'll be your first time. But before we start coding, let's make sure you have a rough idea of what code is and how it works. The code that you will write will tell the computer how to respond to different inputs, just like the algorithm that you wrote for me to tell me how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
If you've ever heard that computer code is just ones and zeros, well, there's definitely some truth to that, but don't worry, you aren't going to be typing just ones and zeros today, or really, probably ever. That type of code is named binary because there are just two possibilities, 1 or 0. And yes, if we go all the way down to the computer's core, the CPU, the central processing unit, everything eventually comes back to binary. But that isn't how we see or write the code. There are a lot of different coding languages. I'll mention just a few of the most popular ones real quick and what they are used for before we jump into our own form of coding today. First up, let's talk about some of the programs that we all use on a regular basis. The apps on our phones. Most Android apps are programmed with Java, while Apple apps are most commonly programmed using a language called Swift. So if you're interested in app development, these are languages to look into. Another interesting language is SQL, which stands for Structured Query Language, or more commonly referred to as SQL, which is used for organizing, parsing, and analyzing data. There are a lot of job opportunities for those who understand SQL. I've got some friends that work in this field. One of the more recent coding languages, which is becoming very popular, is Python. It is very versatile and can be used to work on AI, web development, and data science. This is a great language to learn if you want a lot of possible job opportunities. Finally, I want to mention JavaScript and C#, which are very similar and popular and have a variety of uses. Most importantly for us, though, is that both of these languages are compatible with the Unity game engine, which you will be using in 10th and 11th grade. We will focus on C# when we start using Unity. But now, onto our coding language, which is called Snap. To get started, we're going to Google Snap Hour of Code, and then click on the first return that you get. And this website is going to walk us through everything that we need to know about Snap just to get started. So up at the top where you see 1 through 10, those are each pages with different tasks for us to complete today. On each page, you'll find most of your instructions on the left-hand side over here. These instructions are telling us to take these blocks, they're talking about this orange and blue thing here, and drag them into the gray section. So I'm doing that right now. It also says to snap them together. That's why this whole thing is named Snap. Now what this code does is it says when I am clicked, I is the little yellow guy here, turn around. So every time we click him, he turns around. So that's page 1 already done. Now this will get a little trickier as you move on. So there is a Show Me the Answer button. If you're ever feeling really stumped, you can click on the Show Me the Answer. But every page you go to, please don't just click Show Me the Answer or Replace My Code. Sure, you'll get through it really fast, but you'll learn absolutely nothing, so it's really a waste of your time. Take your time, try to figure it out on your own, and if you're not sure if it's quite right, then click Show Me the Answer and put it together yourself. So we'll do page 2 together real quick, and then I'm going to let you go and do the rest of this on your own. So on page 2, it says we want Alonzo, our little yellow guy here, to move to a random position instead of just turning around. So we've got a couple new blocks. We've got this light green that says pick random 1 to 10, and then we have a go to X and Y. So just a quick aside here as we work on our X and Y positions. X means moving left to right on a grid, and Y means moving up and down. So positive numbers in the X are going to the right, negative numbers are going to the left, and in the Y, positive numbers go up and negative numbers go down. So for example, this little gray sprite on the screen right here is at a position of positive 131 in the X, moving it to the right, and negative 36 in the Y, moving it down a little bit. So to do this, I can start by bringing over my go-to X and Y and snapping that to the bottom of the code that I already have. Next, I'll bring out 2 of these green pick random boxes. If I put them both in the slot right now, it's actually a little hard to read the one on the right. That may or may not be the case for you too. So I can work on them in or outside of that slot, but all that matters is that I'm going to change the numbers in here to match the numbers that they mention on the left. So one of these green boxes is going to have to be between negative 190 and positive 190, and the other one will be between negative 130 and positive 130. Then the one that has the negative and positive 190 will go in the X slot, and the one with the 130 and negative 130 will go to the right of the Y slot. And now you can see when I click on this code or click on Alonzo here, he kind of jumps all over the place and it gets a little bit harder to track him down. So this is very simple, but you are writing code and starting to create a game. So if you make it all the way through this, let's take a quick peek at what your game might actually look like when you're done. So now you can see that there's actually a score up in the top left, and when I click on Alonzo, you'll notice he actually starts to move faster and faster each time that I click on him. So we have a delay between when he moves, and he's going to keep moving on his own, even when I'm not clicking on him. So if I click on him, he moves. If I don't catch him fast enough, he moves. And my score goes up every time I click on him, or down if he moves when I don't catch him. So this becomes kind of a crazy game, and eventually Alonzo will move so fast that it's almost impossible to catch him. So for your first day of coding, I'd say this is a pretty neat little project. Alright, so you're on your own from here. Give it your best. Fall back on the Show Me the Answer button if you really need to. And be sure to check in with me at office hours if you feel like you really need help with something. Once you're done with this, just jump back to the comment section in Schoology and let me know which coding languages you're most excited to learn. It could be one that I mentioned earlier today or something you've heard of on your own. Alright, give it your best.